This week is Student Research Week. We are going to be examining projects within the Biomedical Research Certificate Program, or BRC, as well as other ones that aren't in the BRC. So those can be anything science related. I sent this email earlier today. It says, "Howdy researchers, please read thoroughly. A voiced over video will be posted Sunday on Google Classroom." This is that video. Class will not be held in VTPP 109 this week. Instead, you need to attend Student Research Week at the MSC. You will need to view at least 6 presentations, 3 Biomedical Research Certificate Program presentations, and 3 non-Biomedical Research Certificate presentations to be able to complete Phase 3. That is 6 presentations for each member of the group, meaning you should have over 20 different ones together. Remember, you're going to have some that probably overlap. More importantly, this is a chance to scope out new research opportunities and learn from those who have continued in the certificate program. Please make an effort to see certificate program presentations even though they do not fall during a class period. This group organizing student research this week is not as organized as last year, at least through their website. Last year, at this point, there was a list of every single presentation by title and when it would be being presented, whether it was in a poster session or whether it was an oral presentation session, room numbers and everything. We'll go over that in just a moment, but I want to go over expectations, instructions, and presentations next. Expectations. Review 3 different biomedical research presentations and 3 non-biomedical research science-related presentations, poster or oral. Now, those of you that attended class the Friday before spring break, remember we had talked about going to 8 different presentations. There's a reason for this, and I will give you that reason in just a little while of why we are not doing 8 presentations, but instead of doing 6 presentations, 3 and 3. Preference of projects associated with Biomedical Research Certificate Program, and attached to this email are titles of presentations associated with the Biomedical Research Certificate Program. Those titles are attached to this email. They're in Google Classroom under Phase 3, and they're also in Google Classroom Stream, so there's no excuse that you do not know the titles associated with Biomedical Research Certificate Program presentations. You should be able to use these titles to find projects associated with the program at Student Research Week. There should be a physical program, or maybe they developed an app or something. They have some type of program when you go to Student Research Week that should list all the projects and presenters. That's how it has been all previous years that I have been ever associated with Student Research Week or attended it. This year seems to be less organized than past. That's just unfortunate. Instructions for this week. Each person will review 6 different presentations. 3 Biomedical Research Certificate Program ones, 3 non-Biomedical Research Certificate Program ones. I may be getting redundant, but I'm going to make sure that this point is understood. You may have some overlap in the presentations because remember, the next bullet point, you want to attempt to achieve some inter-rater reliability. Of 80% is great. Of 70% is acceptable. The reason you want to do this is because if one person in the group goes and reviews another project and says it was not very good, or another person reviews one and says this was an amazing project, you want to know that you can trust their review to some degree of satisfaction and agreement to a certain percentage, 70 being acceptable, 80 being our target, is what we call inter-rater reliability. This allows for that trust in other team members' reviews. This is used throughout all different types of research, and so it's a good thing to get to know now. Use class time to work as a team. You do have class this week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's just not in VTPP 109. A lot of y'all can get to class early. A lot of y'all can stay late. Y'all can work around that time. You can also go on Tuesday and Thursday, and some presentations for the program might be on Tuesday or Thursday. So this week you're going to have a very flexible schedule. I'm not going to show up at 12:40 for my Section 504 Monday, Wednesday, Friday at the MSC and try to do attendance with everyone. That's not going to happen. Section 501, 502, 503, same thing. Just that was an example. So with this, what we're going to look at doing is trying to understand what good research is, what bad research is, what you like about presentations, what you don't like about presentations. So be sure, use your class time. If you have a team member that says, I can't meet on a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday during class, that is unacceptable, okay? Use questions for discussion. So I also attached questions for discussion. These are sample questions, and you can use them in any phrasing that you want, but these are good questions, STEM questions that you can use to get the presenter discussing their project. So please review those. We'll look at those in just a moment. Those are posted in phase 3 of the classroom as well. Follow instructions provided in the Google form for phase 3 titled Student Research Week and Evaluation. We will also go over that in just a moment. Presentations. You can find a list of presentations at this link. The link is to the events section on Student Research Week's website. I'll show you that in just a moment after I finish going over this email that I sent. Room locations can be found in that link provided. A more detailed list of presentations will be provided if available. If I know this, I will let you know. If Dr. Quick's students let me know when they're presenting, I will let you know. But as of this time, this is all we have to go by. Use the attached list of Biomedical Research Certificate Student Research Week presentation abstracts to determine if it is a BRC project or not. You also may see a logo up in the top that has the little 2 laurel branches with a BRC in the middle. You may see that logo. If you see that logo, you would know that's part of it. Another good thing, look and see if Dr. Quick's name is on the presentation. If it says CM Quick or Quick, CM or Christopher Quick, you know that is a project associated with the program. The other one is also the first author in that Article 2 that we read for the edema model, which is Dr. Ranjit Dangankar. That name or Dr. Quick's name, you will know those are projects associated with the program. Also, in pink here, I put, I will not respond to emails about when to find specific presentations because of now that information is not known. If I find out more information, I will let you know. If you ask, where's the location of this? That's what your team is for. I want y'all to work as a team. Also, I don't want to be redundant in responses and send 20 emails of where do I find this? Y'all know all the information at this moment that I know. If available, be sure to pick up a Student Research Week program if they have them on Monday morning. Go Monday. They may run out. It appears that the people running student research this year are not as organized as previous years, so hopefully the programs, they will have programs available for the attendees. So this was the email you all received Sunday morning, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. And if we go to our classroom, I posted a lot of this information in a shorter format in the class stream. And notice it says VTPP 123 Student Research Week Guidelines, Requirements, and Expectations. I've made a change to the syllabus and only have you needing to review 3 BRC program presentations and 3 non-BRC. It used to be 4 and 4. The reason for that is right here. As of now, not all upper-level biomedical research certificate projects have been cleared by Dr. Quick for presentation this week. So there may be less than on the list attached below. So that list of abstract titles, there may be some of those that are not presenting this week because they did not meet the requirements during year 2 of this program, or if they're year 3 or 4, they didn't follow up with the same level of care that they have in previous years. This is a good lesson to learn now. Hard work is necessary to get good research done. Each person needs to review a total of 6 presentations, 3 BRC, 3 non-BRC. I told you it was going to get redundant sounding. Presentations can be a mix of poster or oral presentations. I'd like you to try to at least see one oral presentation. If it doesn't work with your schedule, that's an understanding, but at least someone on the team try to see at least one oral presentation, if not 2, because you may go to one and it's not that great. You may go to another and it's really good. Student Research Week evaluation Google form, we'll look at that in just a moment, matches the rubrics used by the judges. So the same rubrics that the topic judges use are the same rubrics that y'all are using to evaluate these projects. The only difference is that Section 4 on y'all Google form is for poster quality, and Section 5 is for presentation aids. The poster quality, or Section 4, goes with poster presentations. Section 5 goes for oral presentations. If you go to an oral presentation, just skip Section 4, go to the next section. I made those questions not requirements, so you're allowed to skip them. Same goes if you go to a poster session, you can skip past Section 5 and go straight to Section 6, which is just additional comments. These 2 sections do not have a requirement to fill out those questions, okay? So you can skip them if it's not associated with what you're going to. You also can see that I posted all the different things here, so they're accessible. But if you go to classwork and you go to Phase 3, Student Research Evaluation, Research Week evaluation form is right here. It gives you a description along with instructions, list of presentations, gives you a list of the presentations. So these are the projects, just titles and names associated with them. And then here are questions for discussion. We'll look at those 2 PDFs after we look at our Google form. So let's look at our Google form next. The Google form. Now, this isn't the view that y'all will have. This is my editing view. But Section 1 of 6, the first thing is instructions. Student Research Week scoring rubric. Take a picture of presentations if allowed by the presenter. Ask them. If it's in a oral presentation, do not take video or something like that, but maybe you can take a picture of their title slide, or if there's something interesting, if they put a graphic up or something like that you want to discuss with your teammates that are not in the same presentation, those things are really good to do. Asking to take a picture of the poster, especially if this is a biomedical research certificate program presentation. Just say, I'm in VTPP 123. Dr. Lyons is our professor for that course. He wants us to take a picture so that we can use this for Phase 3 of the course. They'll know what that means, especially if they're only in the 2nd year, because they did this last year. But please ask the presenter if you can take a picture. Don't just start snapping pictures. The content section is for both poster and oral sessions. Presentation delivery is the same for both poster and oral sessions. And then here's the difference of that: poster quality, poster, presentation aids for oral. Those are different, and you only fill out that if it's appropriate. The first section that you'll get here, you're going to have to click, is it a poster or an oral presentation? If there's a poster number, session code, you type that there, and then title of the presentation, because you want to be able to discuss it in case someone else in the class maybe went to that one. That would be another good thing to look at, okay? Content. The way the judging score sheet works, so I'm going to show you this super quick. If we go to Judges and their rubrics and guidelines, I'll show you right here. Here is topic judge for a poster. You notice these are going to be the same questions that we're going to talk about. The only difference in the poster and the oral, this says presentation aids instead of poster quality, and the questions are slightly different, but they're basically asking the same thing. The biggest thing that's interesting here is it's a scale of 1 to 6, with 6 being the best, but if you notice, it's only needs improvement, average, or above average. This is Student Research Week. We're not looking for the most exceptional presentation that would be at a national conference. This is a local university conference. Above average, a really good above average would be a 6. Use your judgment developed by your group. If y'all deem it to not be a good project, as long as y'all are at inter-rater reliability of 70 or better, you can trust each other on what you think needs improvement, average, or above average. So if we go back to our form, you notice I put here needs improvement 1 or 2, 2 is better than 1, average 3 or 4, 4 is better than 3, above average 5 or 6, and 6 is the best. So it goes needs improvement 1 is the lowest, above average 6 is the highest. It's not a typo that it says above average for 6. Okay? All right, so content, you have questions such as the research has merit and makes contribution to the field of study. The abstract accurately summarized the research presented, meaning you need to read the abstracts. The introduction provided short yet pertinent information about the project. If they don't have an introduction, that's a 1. They need something to have a background. Think about the introductions you all just did on the abstracts. Now it should be clicking why we just did these abstracts. The methodology or theoretical framework was appropriate for the research. So the steps they did, the theory behind what they did made sense. Appropriate methods of analysis or interpretation were used. What they analyzed based on the steps they did. What their results, the method for analysis to develop their results was appropriate, and their results, arguments, and conclusions were detailed and explained accurately. Also, research was well discussed, and presentation provided recommendations for future research and or practical applications or relevance. Future implication section. This should be screaming to you right now. That's what we just did in the abstracts. If they don't have that in a poster format or in a presentation format, then this is an issue right here. The next section is presentation delivery. The presenter was comfortable presenting the topic and fielding the questions. Everyone's going to have some level of nerves, okay? Keep that in mind. Student mannerisms, eye contact, gesture, posture, vocal expressiveness, show enthusiasm, and enhance presentation delivery. If they're mumbling the whole time and not making eye contact with you, it's not a good presentation. If they're making eye contact with you, if they're pointing out things on the poster, if they're speaking clearly, those are good things. Student clearly and accurately conveyed the information utilizing personal knowledge and subject matter of the poster. They didn't just read the poster. Okay? Think about that one when you do this one. Okay? Now it says and poster if available. That's because if this is an oral presentation, it wouldn't be a poster. It would be some type of PowerPoint slide most likely. Rate of speech and language is consistent, appropriate, and not distracting. You may go to a student that is a international student. Keep in mind a language barrier that may exist. If it's the student still is speaking clearly, an accent doesn't mean rate of speech, language, appropriate, consistent. Accent's perfectly acceptable in an academic content because we are a worldwide group of scholars. It could be the same thing for a domestic student. If they talk too fast, they talk too slow, they mumble, they don't talk clearly, they say after every fourth word, that's going to be a little bit on the distracting side. Pauses are much more appropriate than an Students exude poise and confidence. They talked audibly and they owned the presentation. This is their research. They should own it. Poster quality. This is only for poster presentations. Same scale. Poster visual aids were accurately presented, easy to see, and complemented students' presentation. Information on poster, the abstract, introduction, procedure, discussions, etc. was well organized, grammatically correct, and easy to follow. The poster was well designed with consistent color schemes, font sizes, and backgrounds. Did it look nice? Was it appropriate? You've seen ones hanging around our room in VTPP 109 all year. You have an idea in the back of your mind what's a good looking poster and what's not. All figures, charts, images, and graphs were properly presented and contained relevant information of the topic. Remember when we went in the abstract and you had to make a figure, you made your own figure. You didn't just Google image search something and put it on your poster. Keep that in mind for that one. Presentation aids. This is for oral presentations only. Slides or visual aids were accurately presented, easy to see, and complemented the student's presentation. Information on the slides was well organized, grammatically correct, large enough to be seen from anywhere in the room. All figures, charts, images, graphs were properly presented and contained relevant information of the topic. Presentation aids were designed with consistent color schemes, font sizes, and backgrounds. That can come to a trick on some oral presentations, especially in these student group derived ones. They don't use the same constant theme because multiple people did multiple slides, and then they just change font sizes, they change background images that don't have a consistent theme behind them. Keep that in mind here. It should be professional. Comments, I do want you to put some additional comments. It could even be like things like, on the picture I took, be sure to show the group their graphs, okay? Something to that effect. It could just be follow-up comments about what you felt about the presentation. Put something here, please, okay? So there are additional comments section here. It's not required because you can go back to it. Now, when you submit this and you go through, it'll ask if you want to submit another response. This is open. You can keep submitting responses, okay? So please keep submitting responses. All right. From there, I do want to go back here. When you get to the Student Research Week website, under About, or not About, I'm sorry. Yes, under About, under Events is where they have hidden the presentation schedules, okay? Student Research Poster Presentation Schedule, if we look at that, they only break it up into sections here, okay? So on these sections, by topics, by time, that's the only thing they have right now. Last year, they had a full list of each presentation and the times they would be there. They didn't do that this year, and I do not know why. But this is all in the MSC in the Bethencourt Ballroom. Okay, that's the large ballroom on the second floor. Okay, if you looking through these, you can kind of figure out where some of our biomedical research certificate programs may be. Okay, for Monday, nothing pops out to me where they would be potentially, but there are some that are very, very related to what we're looking at, okay? And so we have things like healthcare right here, nutrition, those things may be very relevant to our course. Kinesiology, surprisingly, will have some very, very scientific research studies. I know it's not a degree requirement of y'all anymore, but when I was an undergraduate here, we had to take kinesiology 198 and 199 classes, which were essentially PE classes. So everyone thought kinesiology just meant PE. Kinesiology actually does a lot of exercise physiology related stuff. So there could be some very physiology related presentations there. So be able, sure, check some of that out potentially. If you look group 2 on Tuesday, March 19th, 8:40 to 11 a.m., modeling approaches, cardiovascular, interstitial flow. Sounds a lot like our program, so we probably have a lot there. Also right here, inflammation, chick membrane, vet med, okay? So the 11 to 11:20 group 3 one sounds like ours as well. Blood pressure, also potentially one that deals with our class and the biomedical research certificate program ones. If we go to Wednesday, vet med, modeling, chicken models, ventricular physiology, I guarantee you some of the biomedical research certificate program ones are there because no one's using a chicken model other than us. Also, medical sciences, human biology, modeling, looks very much like ours. So you can see as you go through here, there's going to be ones that'll stick out, and there'll be ones that you have an idea of when you want to go to certain poster presentations. Okay, there should be someone there at the poster. If they're not, check back because they may be coming from class. but be sure to just check those. Also, oral presentation schedule. This gives you an idea of what's where at certain times. Very much just kind of an overview. But if you go back, oral presentation detailed schedule, this will give you some titles, okay? So you can see when they are and when in that time block that one should be presenting. Get to it at least 10 minutes early in case the one before it finishes quick, okay? So if you were wanting to go see, for example, let's see, does membrane interstitial microbiome influence and whatever else the rest of that is? You notice it's in MSC 2503 at 10 a.m. at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, March 19th. Go ahead, get there at that 9:41, okay, 9:45. Get there early, because what if one of these does not show up and they go early, you miss the presentation you're trying to go to. So try to do that. Make sure that you can look at these. These will give you an idea. You can see also here, they cut out some of the titles here. So this still is less organized than they have been in years past, which is very unfortunate for y'all as attendees, for other people that are presenting, and for faculty or staff members that want to attend or know what students are doing. It just was not organized as well this year as it has been in years past. Okay, so I think that is all that we have to discuss for this week. Remember, we do have our list of presentations that you have in a sheet. So if I pull those up, this is over here on the right side of the screen is the list of names associated with the titles for potential projects that will be presented this week. Only ones that are cleared by Dr. Quick. They may have been approved by Student Research Week to get accepted to present, but it doesn't mean they were cleared by the lead mentor, hence the last name on these projects, to actually present, okay? Topics for discussion can be seen on the left side of the page. This is the PDF that I gave you. There's different topics. Ask about the importance of the study in a broader scope to science, about the methods, figures, data supports. Branch off and ask follow-up questions, any points you need further clarification about or interest you. Remember, one key thing that's amazing with doing this is especially our our biomedical research certificate program related presentations. Those can deal with potential research interests for you for phase 4 of this class and for next year if you choose to continue on with this program. Notice there's some overview questions, prior research background questions, analysis, results, conclusions, future implications. These kind of give you a language of how to ask the questions. You don't have to ask these exactly, but it's here as a helpful guide for you, okay? So if y'all have any questions regarding schedule, time, or any of that, direct those to Student Research Week organizers at the event. I have no further information on that unless Dr. Quick sends me something from his actual students presenting. If I don't get that information, I'm not going to have that information available to you. If I get it, I will let you know, and I will send it to you in an email, and I will post it in Google Classroom. Remember, 6 evaluations, 3 biomedical research certificate program ones, 3 non-BRC program ones. If it comes to Friday and say you only have 2 that were associated with the program and you have 3 that were not associated with the program, do another one that's not. Make sure you have 6 evaluations done, okay? Please send me questions if you have anything that is a technical issue, like the Google Forms not working or anything like that. I will be on the lookout tomorrow for those. You also may see me just popping in on random days of Student Research Week, not necessarily Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I am going to come up there to check out some of the projects, students that I've had in the past or that I had had when I was a graduate assistant associated with this program. So let me know if you have questions that deal with getting your work completed. If they're scheduled questions, attribute those towards the organizers at the event. Thank y'all. Have a fun week. This should be really cool. It should be eye-opening. You also get to make your own schedule this week, but don't be a bad teammate. If everyone on the team, if 3 of the 4 of you want to meet Monday during your normal section time, that is your class time. Meet during that time, okay? If y'all go, hey, Monday, there's nothing that we're wanting to see, let's go Wednesday. It sounds like it's going to be better. Or Tuesday sounds like it's going to be better. That is completely up to y'all, okay? Be sure to be a good teammate. Peer review does play a role in this, so keep that in mind if you're not getting communication from your team members. Now, quick thing, if you don't know who your team members are, that's not an excuse because you really do. Go up here to Teams, Spring 19 Teams, find your section along the bottom, and you have what team you are. Team 3A, so for 501, you can see are these 4 individuals, and there's their emails, so they can all email each other. This works the same for every one of our courses, okay? You can even see the team members for other classes. So, take care, have fun, and get excited about research. See y'all Monday the 25th.